Hey guys, you're watching Cutie Crafts, and today I will be assembling this DIY miniature dollhouse kit that was sent to me by RollLifeOnline.com. This video is not sponsored, but I really do appreciate RollLife sending this to me, and let's see how it turns out. Here is the instruction manual that has all of the steps to assemble everything, and it is in English, so pretty easy for me to follow. Due to customs, I wasn't able to receive the glue, paint, and batteries that it was supposed to come with, but here are the rest of the supplies and the paper cutouts. I always change up the cutout designs to fit a different theme, and of course we will be doing My Hero Academia or Boku no Hero Academia for this house. After cutting the wallpapers out, I used Mod Podge to glue the wallpapers onto each board. With the walls and flooring done, this is an extra ledge that comes out of the red side of the wall. For these kind of pieces, I used wood glue and a bit of hot glue to help secure everything together. For the window, I used some clear glue to glue on the plastic sheets. And then I glued on this extra frame to cover up the glue residue. Making the carpet was really fun. I used these two templates provided to cut out two different sized triangle pieces. Once all the pieces were cut out, I just had to place them in the right order and I glued them all together. To make the couch, I traced out the templates onto this velvety fabric and cut them all out. The fabric wraps around these wooden pieces, and that will make the different structures of the couch. I used hot glue so that the fabric can adhere onto the wood really quickly, and then I filled each of these little cushions with a little bit of fluff and then sealed it up. Same procedure goes for the armrest and the rest of the body of the couch, except I didn't put any fluff in any of these, they're just fabric on wood. Using one of the paper templates, I folded this piece of fabric so that it can become a pillow. I hot glued the sides together so you don't need to sew them, and then I filled it up with some fluff. Now let's have some fun making some tiny books, and I printed out 19 different manga covers. These covers are glued onto these wooden pieces, and there are 4 of them that have 2 wooden pieces glued together, so they're pretty thick. By the way, all of these covers were made on a Word doc. I just put the front and back cover images together with a title in the middle, and I made sure the measurements would fit this little wooden piece, and that's how you make the thicker ones. I've only watched the My Hero Academia anime series, and I haven't read any of the manga, so if any of you are manga readers, hope you appreciate these tiny books. I think they're so cute, and even though the images are a bit blurry, you can still make out what the covers are and you can pick your favorite volumes. There are 15 smaller books that you only use one wooden piece for. Here are all the smaller manga covers finished, and let's take a closer look at each of them. I only started watching My Hero Academia in the beginning of summer, and now I'm just a few episodes into season 4. I really like animes that are action-packed and have really cool fight scenes, so if you also like that kind of genre of anime, then I think you'd really like My Hero Academia too if you haven't seen it before. One of my favorite arcs is probably the UA Sports Festival arc. It was really nice to see all of the students showcasing their quirks and fighting each other. I also liked getting to see the UA dormitories up close, which were an inspiration for this miniature dollhouse. Now let's finish the rest of the paperback books. I folded this long strip of paper with a cover of Deku's notebook. Then I glued on the back and cut off the excess. And that's his cute little campus notebook before Bakugo burnt it to a crisp. I also made these strips with the UA logo as the front and back cover, and then all of the students are inside. So this is like a little yearbook. The blue one is my favorite yearbook with some of my favorite ships, my favorite characters in no particular order. And then the other two yearbooks, I just ordered the pictures randomly of all the other students. Let me know in the comments below who your favorite UA students are. Here are some book sets that I modified to look like UA textbooks. With all of those different books, I need some bookshelves to store all of them. This green bookcase really reminded me of the furniture you see in the UA dorms, so this was also an inspiration to turn this miniature dollhouse into a My Hero Academia one. These pieces assemble into a little drawer that goes beside the couch. And finally, here's a little coffee table that will go on top of the rug later on. These pieces assemble into a record player. My favorite theme song so far out of all the seasons is Season 4's Polaris by Blue and Count. I listen to it a lot, and that's why I put it on the vinyl record for this record player. I even tried learning it on electric guitar, but it was kind of hard, just as hard as assembling this acoustic guitar that I'm pretty sure belongs to Jiro. I printed out some pictures that will replace the original framed art, and then I glued on each of the wooden frames. This living room is also furnished with a rope basket and planter. The tall planter will hold this big green plant, and it's such a coincidence that my living room has this exact same plant too. The smaller basket will hold these rolls of paper. I'm not sure what they are. I think they're supposed to be paintings or just wallpaper samples. And here are the last few miscellaneous items. Last but not least, this is how to do the lighting. It's a really modern, cool looking chandelier with 3 lights, and they will actually turn on. I just have to put the wires through the tubing first, and then I will connect them to a battery in the end. It's final assembly time, and the walls slide into these slots so that they are perfectly aligned together. I glued on this protruding wall to the red side and added the supports for the floorboard. Then I secured the ceiling on top and ran the wires down to a battery which is hidden in the bottom of the dollhouse. Now it's really starting to look like a Todoroki sitting room. Now let's do some interior decoration. Prop up Class 1A school portrait. Hang up some more framed class photos and a candid shot of Deku eating. Can't forget the #1 hero symbol of peace, All Might, the #1 school, UA, and Todoroki eating his favorite cold soba noodles. The ledge is great for holding a yearbook that people can look at while they're sitting on the couch, or maybe to chill and read some manga. Pick whichever volume you want to read. There's #1 to 19. A record player goes on top of the bookshelf so you can listen to your top 100 anime openings. Another yearbook goes on top of the coffee table along with Deku's notebook, the Two Heroes movie, and my favorite volume. Jiro's guitar is by the couch so she can perform for her friends anytime. And finally, the Class 1A sitting room is complete. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and turn on your notifications. I'm really tempted to get a Nendoroid, you know, those really cute chibi figures that you can pose and display in these dollhouses. I'm really tempted to get one of Todoroki or Deku, but they're really expensive. So for now, I just have this mini bead Todoroki in here. It's a pretty big miniature dollhouse kit compared to the other ones that I've made before, and it's definitely one of my new favorite ones. Anyway, that's all for the video. I'll see you guys next time with another cutie craft. Bye!